Imagine 30 days from now, your cat spots the sunny windowsill across the room, the one she used to claim every single afternoon. She crouches, wiggles, and launches, clean, confident, no hesitation. She's back up in her favorite spot, watching the birds like she owns the neighborhood. Now come back to today, because today that same cat is sitting on the floor, staring up at that windowsill, and walking away. If that scene feels familiar, this video is your roadmap, not a vague watch for signs lecture, an actual step-by-step path from where you are right now to where your cat could be. We're going to walk through 3 clear phases, each one simple enough to start today. And by the end, you'll see your cat's behavior in a way most owners never do. Stay with me, because the first step happens in the next 24 hours. Let's be really honest about where this starts, because almost every owner in this situation tells themselves the same story. It starts small. Your cat used to greet you on the kitchen counter. Now she waits on the floor, meowing up at you. She used to sleep on the back of the couch. Now there's a dent in the cushion of the chair instead, the low one. The cat tree you spent $100 on, she's on the first level. The bottom one, the one that's basically the floor with carpet on it. And here's the thing, she's not limping, she's not crying, she's eating fine, purring when you pet her, doing all the normal cat things. So your brain does what every loving owner's brain does. It writes a comfortable explanation. She's just getting older. Cats calm down as they mature. He's being lazy, it's kind of funny actually. Maybe you've even joked about it. Posted a picture of your cat sitting on the floor next to the bed instead of on it, with a caption like, "Too tired to make the leap." And everyone laughed, because it is kind of funny. Until you realize it's the 3rd time this week you've noticed something like that. Here's the frustrating part. And I want you to hear this without a single drop of guilt, because guilt helps nobody. This situation is confusing. Your cat seems fine. Nothing looks wrong. There's no dramatic moment, no yelp, no obvious injury that sends you to the vet. There's just a quiet series of almosts. Almost jumped. Almost made it. Chose the floor instead. And the most disheartening part? You can't ask her what's going on. You just watch this small, slow retreat from the life she used to have. The high spots. The window patrols. The countertop inspections. And you wonder if this is just what getting older looks like for a cat. That wondering? That quiet worry you push down because she seems fine? That's where we start. Not with blame, not with panic. Just with honest eyes on what's actually happening. Because here's the reframe that changes everything. A cat who stops jumping is almost never being lazy. She's making a decision. A calculated, sensible decision. And once you understand what that decision is based on, the whole picture and your path forward becomes crystal clear. So why doesn't the current approach work? Why does waiting and seeing, the thing almost every owner does, fail so completely? Because it's built on one core misunderstanding, the belief that you'd be able to tell if your cat was in pain. You wouldn't. Almost nobody would. And that's not a flaw in you, it's a feature of your cat. Here's what's really going on. Cats are both predators and prey animals. Out in the wild, an animal that shows weakness becomes a target. So over thousands of years, cats evolved an astonishing ability to mask discomfort. They don't limp when something hurts. They don't whine or cry. They simply adapt, quietly, invisibly. They reroute their entire lives around the problem, and they do it so smoothly that from the outside, it just looks like a personality change. Now, here's where the jumping piece clicks into place. Think about what a jump actually is. It's not like walking, where your cat can distribute her weight carefully and take her time. A jump is an explosion. Every ounce of force in her body fires through her hind legs and lower back in a fraction of a second. If there's even a whisper of discomfort in her hips, her knees, her spine, her elbows, jumping is the very first activity that becomes not worth it. It costs the most, so it goes first. And that's the hidden pattern. When a cat stops jumping, it's rarely a mood. It's math. Pain math. She's quietly calculating that the leap hurts more than the windowsill is worth. Now here's the part that surprises most people. Joint disease in cats, osteoarthritis, the same kind of wear and tear condition humans get, is wildly more common than anyone believed even 20 years ago. Researchers who actually x-rayed groups of older cats found something remarkable. A large majority of cats over the age of 12 showed signs of joint changes. Some studies put that number around 90%. 90. And we're not just talking about seniors. Signs have been found in cats as young as 6. Yet only a tiny fraction of these cats are ever actually diagnosed. Why the gap? Because the number one sign isn't a limp. It's exactly what you're seeing. A cat who stops jumping. A cat who hesitates before the leap, or breaks one big jump into 2 small steps, or just stops going up altogether. So the misunderstanding, she's just slowing down, quietly rewrites itself into the truth. She's telling me something in the only language she has. And here comes the good news. Joint discomfort in cats is manageable. Not always curable, let's stay honest, but genuinely, meaningfully improvable. Cats who get the right support often reclaim parts of their old lives that owners assumed were gone forever. But it starts with a shift, a small one you can make in the next 24 hours. Right now, you're glancing at your cat on the floor and guessing. In a moment, you're going to become the kind of owner who actually knows. Here's how, and it starts tonight. This first phase is not about fixing anything yet. It's about seeing clearly. Because right now, you're working from vague impressions. She seems slower lately, and vague impressions lead to vague worry. We're going to replace that with evidence. Step 1. Tonight, become a quiet observer. Don't change anything. Don't hover. Just watch your cat with fresh eyes for the next day or two, and specifically, watch for what I call the 4 tells. Tell 1, the hesitation. Does your cat crouch in front of the couch or the bed, rock back and forth, maybe even start the motion, and then bail? That wind up and abort is one of the clearest signals there is. A healthy cat doesn't rehearse a jump. She just goes. Tell 2, the workaround. Watch how she gets to her favorite spots now. Is she climbing instead of jumping? Using the arm of the chair as a halfway station? Jumping onto something low first, then up again? Cats are brilliant engineers. When the direct route hurts, they build detours. And those detours are messages. Tell 3, the landing. When she does jump down, does she land heavily? Does she hesitate at the edge and stretch one paw down first, like she's testing water? Going down is actually harder on sore joints than going up. So a cat who dreads the descent is telling you something. Tell 4, the ripple effects. Is she grooming the lower half of her body less? A greasy or clumpy patch along the lower back can mean twisting around has become uncomfortable. Is she grumpier when picked up? Sleeping more? Visiting the litter box less or having accidents beside a high-sided box? Pain doesn't stay in one lane. It spills. Step 2, write it down. I know, it sounds almost too simple. But grab your phone and start a note. Date, what you saw, where. 3 days of quick notes will show you a pattern your memory would smooth over. Memory says, she's fine most of the time. Notes say, she hasn't cleared the bed without a stepping stool since Sunday. Step 3, and this is the most important one, book a vet appointment. This week. Not because it's an emergency, but because this is exactly the kind of thing vets are brilliant at, and exactly the kind of thing that gets missed without them. Bring your notes. Even better, bring a short video of the hesitation or the workaround if you can catch one. Vets love video because your cat will absolutely pretend to be a gymnast the moment she's on the exam table. That's what cats do. And here's what to say at that appointment, word for word if you like. She's stopped jumping and I'd like to talk about her joints. That one sentence changes the whole conversation because many vets won't press on pain unless an owner raises it. Remember, your cat looks fine on the surface. You've just given them the key. That's it. That's the first phase. Watch for the 4 tells, take notes, make the call. No medication, no spending spree, no overhaul of your house. Just clear eyes and one appointment. You can do that tonight. Now here's the contrast to hold in your mind. Right now, your cat's home is designed for an athlete. Big leaps, tall towers, high beds. By the end of this week, her home will be designed for the cat she is right now. And here's the beautiful part. This phase often produces visible change fast because you're removing the pain math from her daily decisions. This second phase is about the environment, and the guiding principle is one sentence. No jump should ever be required. Everything she loves should be reachable through a series of small, easy steps. Think of it as building her a staircase world. Start with her favorite destination. Where does she most want to be? The windowsill? Your bed? The back of the couch? Pick that spot first and build a route to it. This can be as simple as a sturdy storage box beside the bed, a chair pulled next to the window, or an ottoman creating a halfway point. There are also pet stairs and ramps made exactly for this, soft foam steps, carpeted ramps, and many are inexpensive. The rule of thumb, each individual step should be no higher than her standing elbow height. Small steps, big difference. Next, the litter box. This one is huge and almost nobody thinks of it. If her box has high sides, stepping in and out might hurt several times a day, and a cat who hurts getting into the box may start going beside it. Switch to a low entry box, or add a box with a dropped front. Keep it spotless, keep it on the floor level where she spends her time, and if you have multiple floors in your home, put a box on each level. Stairs, for a sore cat, are just jumps in slow motion. Then look at food and water. If her bowls are on the floor and she has to crouch low to eat, try raising them slightly. A couple of inches on a stable stand can take real strain off sore elbows and shoulders. And make sure the essentials, food, water, litter, a cozy bed, can all be reached without a single leap. Now the sneaky one, slippery floors. Hardwood and tile are a sore cat's enemy because pushing off to jump or even walking confidently for her requires grip. A few cheap non-slip rugs or carpet runners along her main highways can transform how she moves through the house. Watch where she walks for one day and you'll see her highways instantly. And while you're rebuilding her world, address the silent multiplier, weight. Every extra pound on a cat is a disproportionate load on small joints. And slimming down is one of the single most powerful joint treatments there is. Some vets call it more effective than any supplement. But do this with your vet's guidance slowly because crash diets are dangerous for cats. Even a modest, gradual reduction can visibly change how a cat moves. One more piece of this phase, play. Don't stop playing with her. Adapt it. Lower the wand toy. Roll balls along the floor instead of asking for acrobatic catches. Keep her moving gently every day, because motion, in the right amounts, is lotion for joints. Total rest stiffens. Gentle movement nourishes. Work through these over the next 7 days. One change a day is plenty. By next weekend, her world will fit her again, and there's a decent chance you'll catch her somewhere she hasn't been in months. Now, maybe in the past you tried things here and there. A new bed once, a supplement a coworker mentioned. But nothing stuck, because nothing was a system. Now you're going to have a calm, sustainable rhythm that keeps her comfortable for years, not weeks. This is the anchor phase, and it has 3 parts. Part 1, let your vet steer the medical side. I want to be careful here. I'm not a vet, and your cat deserves a real professional looking at her actual joints. But it helps to walk into that appointment knowing the landscape. Vets today have a real toolbox for feline joint comfort. Prescription diets formulated for joint health, pain management options designed specifically for cats, never ever give human painkillers, several of which are toxic to cats, and newer treatments that some clinics now offer specifically for feline arthritis. There are also joint supplements you'll hear about, things like omega-3 fatty acids and glucosamine, and your vet can tell you which ones are actually worth your money and which are just expensive treats. Your job isn't to choose the treatment. Your job is to show up with your notes, ask the question about joints, and follow through on the plan. Part 2. Build a monthly check-in ritual. Here's the trap most owners fall into. They make changes, see improvement, and then slowly drift back to not paying attention. Pain in cats is sneaky, remember? It adapts. So anchor a habit. On the first day of every month, take 2 minutes and run through the 4 tells. Watch 1 jump or 1 refusal. Glance at her coat, notice the litter box, update that same phone note. There are even structured questionnaires vets use, checklists about jumping, playing, and grooming, and asking your vet for one gives you a score you can track over time. So, is she getting worse? Becomes a question with an actual answer. Part 3, protect the routine itself. Cats with sore joints thrive on predictability. Keep her new stair steps in place even after she improves. Don't tear down the staircase world just because she's using it well. That's like taking away someone's reading glasses because they can suddenly see. The accommodations aren't a sign of decline. They're the reason she's thriving. And here's the deeper anchor, the identity piece. Something shifts in owners who walk this path. You stop being someone who worries vaguely about their cat, and you become someone who reads their cat. You notice the small stuff. You trust what you see, and you act on it early. That skill, that quiet attentiveness, doesn't just help with joints. It will catch the next thing, whatever it is, years before it becomes a crisis. So let's finish where we began, in the future. It's a Tuesday morning, about a month from now. You're making coffee, and you hear it. That soft, familiar thump from the other room. You look over, and there she is, up on the windowsill. The route she took was a ramp and a chair, her staircase world. But she's up there, tail curled, sun on her face, supervising the birds like it's her job. Because it is her job. She just needed someone to rebuild the road. Her coat is glossier because twisting to groom doesn't cost her anything anymore. Her litter habits are perfect because the box doesn't hurt. She plays every evening, not like a kitten, let's stay honest, but like a cat who's comfortable in her own body. And at your next vet visit, you hand over 3 months of notes, and the vet looks at you and says the sentence every owner deserves to hear. You caught this early. That makes all the difference. That's the future. And notice what it isn't. It isn't a miracle, and it isn't overnight. It's a staircase in every sense. You observed, you acted, you adjusted her world, you brought in professional help, and you made it stick. Realistic steps in the right order, done by an owner who decided to take the small signs seriously. You are now the owner who doesn't wait for a limp. The owner who knows that a stop jump is a sentence, not a shrug. The owner who builds ramps before crises. That's not a small thing. That's the whole job, done well. Now, I have a question for you, and I genuinely love your answer in the comments. Where did your cat used to jump that she doesn't anymore? The bed, the counter, the top of the fridge? Tell me the spot. You'd be amazed how many owners are watching the exact same retreat and think they're the only one. And if this video just rewired how you see your cat's everyday behavior, that's what we do here every single week. We decode the quiet signals cats send so you can act while acting is easy. Subscribe, because next time your cat says something strange, you'll want to know what it means. Now go watch your cat, not with worry, with new eyes. She's been talking to you all along, and starting tonight, you speak her language.